Fall is upon us here, basically across the whole United States. We have temperatures in the mid to high 70s, all the way down to the low 50s in some parts of the country. Fall time fishing is one of my favorite things to do. That means I can get out and cover a ton of water. There's a plethora of different techniques you could use in the fall time. That being said, the two that I like to have tied on the deck of my boat at all times, tournament or fun fishing, is first and foremost the almighty trusty Lucky Craft 1.5. This comes in the deep rattle sound, the DRS. That's what this bait is. Has a loud knocker in it, and then it comes in a silent version as well. This bait just mimics those small bait fish that the bass are keying in on this time of year. You can fish it very, very fast. You can fish it slow, target multiple different types of cover, and just cover water. I mean, that's what the fall comes down to, is covering water, and this bait right here does the trick. The next bait I like to have tied on the deck of my boat is gonna be some sort of jerk bait. And the one I like in the fall, just like I like in the summertime, is the lightning pointer. I really like the Lucky Craft pointer series, the 100 or the 120. It's got that bigger profile. And then I also like the Stacy, gets down a little bit deeper. And then the slender pointer is another great one as well. But the thing about the lightning pointer is it stays shallow. You can fish it very fast, hence lightning, and cover water just like you would want to do in the fall time. This bait, you work it really, really fast, and this bait doesn't blow out and turn over. It always stays true to action, representing those bait fish that are just scattered and moving around a lot. So with that being said, fall time equals 1.5 DRS or silent. I like the DRS, it makes more noise and attracts those fish. And the lightning pointer, always have one of these tied up. The fish normally, typically this time of year, are gonna be somewhat shallow and covering as much water as I like to do. The lightning pointer does the job. So typically in the fall, these fish are gonna be coming off the main river or the main lake, main part of the lake. And a lot of the bait fish and bass are gonna be wanting to migrate towards the backs of these creeks, only because the water temperature back in here through here is going to be cooler, and those fish, when they get off the main river and go towards the back of these places to feed and to get out of that stagnant warm water. What I like to look for in some of these contours is different changes of depth, like rapid depth changes, whereas you see over here you have a really shallow flat, and then off the end of it gets deeper. Typically a lot of these fish will be out deeper towards the main channel and then come back up and feed on top of these points, these shallow points, and they group up on here. Another one that I like is causeways and bridges. This is basically a funnel or a pinch point where there's some sort of current, no matter what, that plays from the back of the creek going out, or from the main lake going to the back. Just like a highway, this is a stopping point for a lot of fish, where bait fish will cruise back to the back of the creek and bass will ambush on a lot of these pilings and where that current break is. So these are just a couple things that I like to look for. Get off the main river, get to the backs of some of these areas where there's different contour changes off of the main creek, and you'll find some success. The Lucky Craft 1.5 is hands down my favorite square bill to go to in the fall time. The 1.5 has that small bait fish characteristics to it. The shape of the bill is very important. Will deflect on many different types of cover. In the fall time, rock is by far one of my favorite things to fish, only because most of the time when you're around some sort of rock, there also is going to be current, whether that be you're around a bridge piling, you are on some riprap bank near a dam. There's always some sort of current, and this time of year in the fall, a lot of the bait fish get directed towards current and bass feed on them. The 1.5 comes in two different styles per se. One, the deep rattle sound, the DRS. It comes with one loud knocker inside of it. The next is gonna be just a silent. So depending on watercolor and the different types of situation you may be in, you might want that rattle or not. I like the rattle only because typically in the fall, your water color is gonna be a little bit more stained. You're gonna be fishing in a little bit more wind possibly, and you wanna make them react to a certain bait, and that noise separates itself from the other bait fish in the area. And as far as colors go, just like Lucky Craft, they've always had a plethora of colors. I mean, hundreds of different colors. American shad is one of my favorites. It's a staple. I can catch fish on this color throughout the whole country. The chartreuse shads are really good. If you're getting into some stained water, black moss, that kind of black with chartreuse on the sides, just kind of match the color of the water, and don't be afraid to go too, bright, because you want to stand out between the rest of the bait fish that's in the lake so that these fish can react to it. I'm also throwing this 1.5. This is on 15, only because I'm throwing it in shallow, kind of dirtier water today. I do like to throw 12, and I'll go up to maybe 17. 17 is a little bit heavy for this bait, but if it is really dirty, fishing super ultra shallow and around a lot of rock, heavy standing timber, things like that, sometimes I'll go to 17, but that 12 to 15 pound is definitely the way I like to go. I like a high gear ratio, 7.3, 8-to-1 gear ratio reel. This bait doesn't blow out that bad at all. It stays true to itself. You can fish it very, very fast. And then pick out your favorite cranking rod. I like, anywhere from a 7 foot to 7.3, medium heavy. Just cast and wind, thing catches fish.